1, 2, 3. Hi, I'm Tom. Galen's in the recovery tent. And welcome to 15 minutes of gender confusion. I'm sorry, that's just me. 15 minutes of FUME! We just have a little bit of time this week because we are helpful Christmas elves at the lab, particularly this one. Shipping like crazy. I'm devastated because physically, in addition to the usual emotionally, because of vending this last weekend at Midsummer Screams Seasons Screamings, which is a lot of S's to make a gay person say. And but we don't even have like a full amount of any of the Yules to review, but we do have some like drips and drabs of stuff that's been coming out of production and stuff that's been bottled hastily to get out to you ASAP. So we thought, why not just sniff a few of the odds and ends that have come out, and we'll play catch up later with the actual full collections as we can. Sound good to you? Sounds good to me? Nobody asked me.
You did. You asked yourself.
Right.
And what do you have to say to yourself?
Thank you for asking. I think it will be fine. Okay, the first thing that we have to sniff is this raspberry apricot SUFGANIYOT. You know, it's like the pastry with the jelly stuff inside of it, you know? We do these, I think, if not every year, regularly with different fillings. And this year, it's raspberry apricot. How delightful. You've smelled the past ones, right?
Yes. And I have actually smelled this one before.
Cheater.
Did it yesterday.
Cheater, cookie eater.
You put it in front of my face. You know, what am I supposed to do?
As usual, it's my fault. So then you already know what it smells like. But,
it smells delightful, but I'll go in again.
There's this particular dough that these little pastries are made of. It's almost like a pie crust kind of thing. It smells so much like that. I can't really understand it. It really smells like the smell of eating one of these things. And not everyone wants to eat one of these things. I don't know. It's like kind of a, you know, it's its own little cultural, regional experience. But, it's just like this really lovely, pale crust. And then raspberry apricot. I'm happy that the apricot has a friend. You know?
You know, it's not always easy for them.
I know that it's probably just luck of the draw because these are the GC Yule Winter, and I think they're all like this, or most of them are like this, but it's blue, which makes me think that... Do you want to try a little?
Yeah.
Makes me think of like a blue raspberry, and that's a whole different... Because that's not even like, you know, that's more like...
real.
Like you're in Slurpee territory there.
It's way more like dough forward on the skin on me.
It's just like, for me, it really kind of... I don't know, it was more dough forward in the bottle. So, you know, I guess this is like the Ebert and Roper, you know, situation you got going on here. I'm not even going to speculate which is which.
I'm Roper.
That would be too... Oh, no. Damn it. Well, I did not want it to go there. Really lovely, foody, fruity scent. I smell like a cookie plate. That is a good thing. I'm not eating a cookie plate. That is also a good thing. The other one from the GC that we have is Horses. It's just called Horses. It's a new perfume called Horses. It's like Cats, the musical, but it's horses.
What's that scent you're wearing? Horses?
Horses. Oh. Well, you be well. So, Horses. And I wasn't familiar with this before, but it's based on a poem by Pablo Neruda. Guess what it's called? The scent is honey, amber, and fire illuminating a dark winter's night. So when I hear the word horses and it's a perfume, I assume it's going to smell like horses. It's inspired by the poem. So, you know, if you're looking for like a nice like alfalfa cake perfume, doesn't sound like it's it. Honey, amber, fire illuminating a dark winter's night. You ready?
Alfalfa cake.
It's the smell of my childhood. It's like grandma's, you know, polyester rodeo suit, alfalfa cake, and dung. You know? Weirdly, I think it would sell. Horses.
It's called Horses.
It's called Horses. Horses, 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 horses.
Laughing all the way.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. So Wow.
Okay.
So, if you didn't know that this was named horses, what would you think?
Well, I smell the honey.
Yes,
And
big time.
and I guess I do smell the amber, but it's almost like a musky kind of amber, and
Horses.
in the bottle it is reminding me of the cat from Coraline, which is like a honey musky kind of thing.
It's like I said, that's funny because I said it was like the musical Cats but with horses.
Oh, you did.
I did.
But
I'm a seer.
I smell the fire crackling in the background, and that actually adds something very interesting to all of this.
I already put it on the skin, and I'm happy to inform the world. I mean, because I tend to amp honey really intensely. The amber is like singing in this. I'm not getting a strong fire smoky situation, but it definitely has like a kind of like it's darkening up the amber and it gives it a little bit of mystery. Kind of like how the ambient garbage truck noises give our videos this like cool, mysterious air.
Wow, where are they?
Yeah,
By the town dump?
reporting live from the apocalypse. I needed like a wonderful smoky amber. This also, I think it would layer really well. It really, you know what it kind of reminds me a little of is the gray columns from the Hierophant.
So it had smoke.
Yes.
And amber.
Yes. These two I think are, friends, horses of a different color, perhaps. I also love that this one, I know it's thematic because of the fire illuminating a dark winter night, but the label, instead of the blue one, is like fire, so it's like horses, and there's like a steel guitar.
Mm-hmm. I love this.
Beautiful.
It's just like gentle and warm.
Like a horse.
Yeah.
Did you grow up riding horses?
No.
I did, but that's like a whole separate video.
I have rode a horse.
I have ridden a horse.
I have ridden a horse.
I have rode a horse. Eliza Doolittle.
I have rode a horse. Yes. Once. Just once. On the beach. You know how they do those? Like
Who are you, Fabio? Did a goose fly into your face?
No.
Well, that's good. I guess you're not Fabio.
I'm not Fabio. Let's clear that up.
We're just
right
gonna.
now.
I think this is a good opportunity to move on.
I agree.
To a totally different subject, which is that we have Snow White in the house, y'all. This is based on the fairy tale Snow White, which the Disney tale somewhat resembles. We're, a little more authentic in our, drawing of inspiration. We're going to the source. What is it she does in She-Devil? Doesn't Meryl Streep push up her glasses with her to address the critics? Anyway, that's not you. That's not for you. Unless you're like a critic of mine, in which case, do with that info what you may.
And I will be using both fingers to address my glasses.
So anyway, our classic Snow White perfume, it says a chilly bright perfume, flurries of virgin snow, try not to read into that too much, crisp winter wind, and the faintest breath of night blooming flowers. So we've got like some like really chilly winter floral blend. How exciting.
Oh, so cold already.
Get a grip. Be a man and put on your Snow White perfume. Okay, so it's not this like chill that we've seen in some of the snowdrift perfumes that are like, it's super like minty or eucalyptus or juniper.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying it doesn't have juniper. I'm trying to figure out, I don't really know what it is. It has a kind of like a haunting chill, but instead of going to a horror place like a lot of our scents do, it is actually kind of a pleasant chill.
This is a fun one to read the reviews of on our BPAL forum, because a lot of people, because the description is kind of vague, people really like picking it apart. And I remember reading the reviews last year, and people were like, is it coconut? Is it pineapple that I'm getting? Like, there's like a weird fruit element, but I also smell the flowers. This is one of my favorites from our Yule release. I always love smelling it every year.
I was thinking that it reminds me of the floral bouquet in Dead Blonde from Dead Blondes and Bad Mothers. It's that same kind of like there is a kind of a watery quality to it. Does that make sense? Like a little wilty almost.
I guess. I mostly just kind of get this kind of like heavy, clumpy snow feeling.
For me, it's like less the Snow White movie and more of like Belle and the Beast having the snowball fight, like that kind of like bright winter morning.
That I get.
You know,
I get no Snow White associations with it.
You know, I guess you just haven't read the original fairy tale in a while.
Do you know what this reminds me of? This is something you will not get. Gilmore Girls fans, when Lorelai Gilmore says she smells snow, I feel like that is what this smells like. Is that appropriate? I think so.
I guess I'll have to wait and hear what other people have to say about this. I'm not part of the club. Well, this was a great thing that you were able to bond with my mother about.
Yeah. You'll just never get it.
I mean, we could watch Gilmore Girls and listen to the words coming out of my mouth. I don't even know what I'm saying right now.
I'm not doing that with you.
What?
You don't want to do it. It's fine. What's the next perfume?
Well, funny enough.
Let's not lie.
I love how you're trying to change the subject, but the next thing that we have is actually Sugar Cookie Snow White. Which we didn't have when we were...
That's even more Gilmore Girls.
Reviewing the Sugar Cookie
Eating the sugar
scents.
cookies in the snow.
It's a fundraiser for LA Regional Food Bank. And so now we have it, and this is great because I have something to compare it to. I have smelled the Snow White, and now I shall smell the Sugar Cookie Snow White. It's funny, you smell this, the Snow White is very kind of like elegant, and there's kind of like a lovely aloofness to it, and you put a sugar cookie in her hand, and the whole movie is different. I like this. In a way, I like this a little more, but maybe it's just because I've been wearing Sugar Cookie Peacock Queen all week, and there's something familiar now to me about the Sugar Cookie scent, and I just feel maybe entitled to smell like I'm going to be smelling new perfumes, and I'll be like, well, there's no sugar cookie, so I don't know why anyone expects me to pay attention. What do you think? What think ye?
I mean, mostly it is just smelling very sugar cookie-ish.
It's gonna, of course, because you're comparing in your brain, you're comparing it to what you just smelled, so of course that's gonna leap right out. It's not a strong cookie scent, to be honest. There's like a hint, like a little hint of toasty sweetness, which is kind of nice because it's like the chill and the flowers, and then I don't know,
Sugary spice.
a bit of sugary, crumbly.
I do smell. I mean, I did try this one on before because I wanted to see how it smelled, and because I have just smelled the Snow White, I kind of can't even pick it up now. But when I did try it on before, I could detect it. So.
Well, things are about to get even crazier because the next one that we have lined up is Sugar Plum Snow White. That's right, we have 3 Snow Whites this year. Don't you kind of want to put them in a cage and like see who survives?
What episode of Gilmore Girls is that? Yeah.
So we have this new series of Sugar Plum Alchemy Lab where we have sugar plummed a few things, and the interpretation of this, because I know sugar plum can mean almost anything. This is Elizabeth says, a kind of a traditional dried spice fruit note added into the mix of, you know, what have you that we're brewing up here. So we have Snow White Sugar Plum Edition. And we'll do a video later on the various sugar plummies, and you'll get to find out how sugar plummy they are. And again, because I've just smelled 2 Snow Whites in a row, this smells like a completely different scent. I'm like, it's all full blast sugar plum.
Yeah.
I wonder if I would think that if I had only just smelled this just now. Although the fruit note, I mean, itself can be a little bombastic right out of the bottle, so we're going to give her a second to simmer down. If there's anything Snow White knows how to do, it's how to cool it, you know? She's like,
unless you're talking about Disney's
a little too good at it, actually.
She's so cool that she's almost dead.
She could be mistaken for dead. Not actually dead.
She's not dead.
Really
She's just cool.
Nice. There's something kind of almost salty about the plum note. Are you getting that?
I don't know. That's very plummy.
It's very plummy, but it does have it's bolstered from underneath with these these light florals. It's like which kind of pulls it out of gourmand territory into like a fruity floral. I
am picking up the Snow White.
Yes.
There it is. I got it.
I knew she was in there somewhere.
You have to kind of like, you know,
when she's in, like, they don't really talk about her experience when she's like, you know, under the witch's spell. Is it like locked in syndrome where she's just like hearing everything and just like being like, help, help, I'm in here. Anyway,
help, I'm in here.
that's kind of like the experience you're having with the Snow White fragrance trying to, like, assert itself over the poisoned fruit.
So she ate a poisoned sugar plum.
Yes, it could happen,
The witch showed up at Christmas
if you
time.
have, like, strained family relations. Just saying. If you were, like, more beautiful than someone, puts a target right on your back. Do you get the saltiness, or am I crazy?
I don't.
Okay, well, it could just be me.
It could be something you're, doing.
I have the holiday madness. I was vending for 3 days. We met so many cool people. We got to see our friends from Dark Delicacies. Drew Roush was there. I got to make new friends with the Discount Cemetery people who made my wonderful jersey. Dark Light Clothing was there. I stammering because there was a lot of people, but the crowd also was not intense and did not feel dangerous, so that was really great, and it was pretty chill. One thing that we were doing at the convention is now everyone has to smell things on tester strips, and I wanted to make sure that we started using the tester strips also, just to get used to it. It's nice. It's like official, right? Instead of just like grubbing in there with our little raccoon fingers, we can just like actually have a proper fragrance test strip. They're branded.
I don't have raccoon fingers.
That's adorable. Keeping with the fairy tale motif, we're gonna go with some rose red.
This is not the made-for-TV haunted house thriller that Stephen King wrote?
Oh yeah, that is a thing, isn't it?
Yeah, Nancy Travis.
Whoa.
I just want to say that I have put a drop on this on my hand and that was 2 nights in a row, and I woke up the next day and I'm like drinking my coffee and I keep getting like, what's that? And I'm like, oh, it's like
rose red.
Just booming from my hand from the night before. It is so powerful.
The description says the perfected winter rose, dew covered and freshly cut. And it's funny because I hadn't read that really, or I didn't, I don't really remember the description, but when we brought this to the convention and I opened it, I had this like really powerful sense of this is like the perfect like flower shop rose. It's like a cold day and you go into the flower shop and it's kind of steamed inside because of like the plants, and this is that like rich rose smell that like most roses in stores don't even smell like anymore. We were talking to Beth about how intense it was, and she was saying that it's just like the strongest rose perfume she's ever made, and while she was blending it, it was just like, like making her woozy.
Like too much.
Too much. I mean, imagine, everyone like wants to be a perfumer, but like when you have to be a perfumer and make perfume in large quantities, there are physical challenges involved. This is so intense because it is like, and it's so different than the Peacock Queen Rose.
Yeah.
There is a kind of a lush, kind of like greenness to it. It just feels very alive. And it's just like soaring. It's like so loud. It's like rose on blast. I know that not everyone is going to be able to appreciate. I mean, some people just don't like rose, period. Not everyone's going to really get what you're throwing out with this. But this is such a... Okay, do you want to try a little on, or is that going to overwhelm everything? I'll do a little bit. Oh, here's a fun tip. We learned from someone at the booth, because everyone had to have masks on while smelling the strips. It's hard to smell a strip through the mask. Apparently, if you're masked and you hold the strip here, you can actually smell it extremely clearly, and I think it's because of the airflow when you like are breathing in. So we were having people like hold it up to the center of your forehead to breathe in through your like third nostril, and then you could just like smell it perfectly. And the expression on people's half face while doing this was so funny because it's just like a mind-blowing experience to smell something up here. Try it at home. Get a mask, get a little dab of perfume on something, smell it here. Brilliant.
I'm smelling so much Snow White.
So much Snow White, but then there's this rose red in the room suddenly. 3 Snow Whites. I can't believe it. We do have one of the fog collection, this new collection, Peculiar Winter Fog, inspired by the actual peculiar winter fog that has been besieging us this past month here in LA. Lots of really intense foggy mornings. I took a lot of foggy bike rides. I didn't even talk to Beth about this too much, but then she went and made a whole fragrance collection out of it, so clearly it was getting to her also. You know, you see the same weather condition at different times of day and different surroundings, and it gives you this entirely different feeling. So these are each evocative of like a different landscape. And the midnight fog that we have says, night blooming jasmine, wisteria, and honeysuckle breathing into a ponderous moonlit pool of sandalwood, iris, and rose attar. This sounds incredible. These are flowers that I wear. Okay, oh, I can smell it from here. Incredible. That's for you. I'll make one for myself. Oh my gosh, I just flicked it. I flicked.
Oh. Whoa.
Oh. Wow.
Well, those three sisters, Jasmine, Wisteria, and Honeysuckle.
With rose.
I just flicked it myself.
Well, I kind of got a lot on the thing. I really gave it a dunk. Really, really like heady, but there's like this mystical quality, like it's all swirling around together, and I think it's like the sandalwood because it kind of gives it this like.
I almost said taste. I do smell the sandalwood.
I can practically taste the sandalwood. Wow.
Well, this is stunning.
Talk about a glamorous evening perfume. I mean, if this is how you want to start your day, like, then you're a powerful being, and I, defer to you on most matters. It just makes you want to keep breathing, so that you can have, like, a little more.
Whoa.
I love how I can pick apart, like, the different, like, flowers, but they are all so harmoniously arranged. The cumulative effect is so interesting. It's giving me a little bit of poinsettia gown, but that was creamy, whereas this is, like, incensey and foggy, and, like, there's, like, a kind of an interesting, a cool humidity to it, which I can't believe I'm saying. That sounds like a made-up thing, because it says fog on the bottle, and you're like, okay, placebo effect much. But, strangely, I'm getting it. Whew. I mean, what more is there to say?
It's just amazing, and
The iris note, I recognize.
will hang out in this fog.
Yeah, I'd like to hang out in this fog, please.
I'm not going anywhere.
Forget, it's dangerous to drive in the fog anyway. Just pull over and...
What's so weird is I'm totally not getting the sandalwood on this little strip, but I definitely smell it on my skin. So that's kind of interesting. I've got two different experiences.
I'm tracking the iris, which I recognize from We Wear the Mask, and which is, is that also sandalwood? I can't remember. It's like, I know that it's lavender, instead of all of this mess, but, it's just like a truly fascinating experience. I'm just like snuffling. Whew. Well, that's a real mood changer. Like, talk about like, bringing it down. Which I guess is a great note to close on. I would not want to smell anything after this. We're done for the week, video-wise, and we will be returning next week with a special guest to discuss November duets and all of that sort of thing. And then we will go into Yule in greater depth. And we didn't talk about the vampire from Halloween. There's stuff left to fume.
Yes.
Will you fume with me? Sometimes. We have guests.
I'll fume. No, yeah, I'll fume.
Even when you're not in front of the camera, you're fuming. Let's be honest.
Permanent state of fume.
Well, we hope everyone will have the happiest, safest holiday possible under the circumstances, being what they are.
Yeah.
We will do the same, and we will check back in with you on the cusp of the new year.
Bye.
Until then.